Greetings to all the students. Welcome to biology and chemistry lessons. I'm here once again with a very beginning topic of our biology. It can be class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, IGCSE, Cambridge, beginning topic, that is cells. All right. So science, biology is the study of the living organisms, and all the living organisms, whether they are microscopic, unicellular, or multicellular, animals, plants, human beings, all of them are made up of cells. Why the organisms are living things? Because the cells are made up of a living substance which is called protoplasm. Just like in order to make a wall, you need a brick. In order to make an organism, you need a cell. The brick is made up of sand, cement. In the same way, the cells are made up of protoplasm. Protoplasm is a living substance. All right. So these are the different type of the cells. The first one is the animal cell. So you can see the first is the animal. So this is the animal cell. This is a single plant cell. This is the egg. So egg of any animal, birds, even human beings, female human beings, mammals, or any other animals, their eggs are complete cells. This one is bacteria. Bacteria is a unicellular organism. This is euglena, a protist, amoeba, another protist. So they all are made up of cell. And the cells are made up of protoplasm. That's why protoplasm is a living material. That's why they all are the living organism. This is a magnified three-dimensional picture of the animal cell. So far in the junior classes, class 5, 6, 7, we have seen a very simple diagram of the animal cell. But usually these type of the easy diagrams you will not find in the O-level question papers. In the O-level question paper, this is one of the diagrams once in 2019. This picture they have given when IGCSE 9 to 1 syllabus they have introduced. So they have given in that first exam, they have given this animal cell picture. So it was little bit confusing for the students, but we will discuss it today. So you can see in this cell, let me tell you, the outermost boundary of the cell is the cell membrane. So this is the cell membrane, the outer boundary wall. This is the cell membrane. So in biology, what is a membrane? A very thin layer. A very thin layer is called a membrane. So cell membrane. So what is the function of the cell membrane? The function of the cell membrane is it is giving protection, it is giving support, it is giving shape to the cell, and it is protecting the things which are there inside the cell. Also, it is made up of lipids and proteins. It is also called as semi-permeable or selectively permeable. The meaning of semi-permeable or selectively permeable is it has got microscopic, the cell itself is microscopic, but the cell membrane has got very tiny pores inside it, which allows only the selective micromolecules to get in and out of the cell. Like food molecules can get inside the cells, oxygen can get inside the cells, waste materials can come out of the cells through these pores, but not the large particles. That's why it is selectively permeable. It allows only select particles to get inside. Now you can see in this picture, inside the cell membrane, this blue color, so actually it is not blue in color, just in order to differentiate, to understand the color is blue. So this blue color inner portion is called cytoplasm. So it is a grayish color liquid, 90% jelly-like liquid, 90% of water, 10% salts. And its function is it is holding all the important organelles. What are organelles? Organelles are the tiny units inside the cell. Each has a specific function, like nucleus. mitochondria. They are all organelles. So cytoplasm is not only holding the organelles, cytoplasm is a liquid and the liquids are always moving. So when the cytoplasm is moving, it is actually distributing the different molecules which have already got inside the cells throughout the cells. Glucose, oxygen, when they will get inside the cell, they will be distributed evenly throughout the cell because of the movement of the cytoplasm. Then the very important organelle is the nucleus, this rounded body right in the middle you can see, but it can be in the middle, it can be anywhere in the cell. So the function of the nucleus, it is the control center. It is controlling all the activities of the cell because it contains inside it genetic material. It contains inside it our chromosomes, the thread-like structure, DNA, genes, and genes are controlling everything, all the functions of a cell. So in genetics, we will do a detailed study of the genetic material. Then, apart from nucleus, inside the plant and animal cell, you can see over here this rounded circle. Inside the circle, this green color bubble-like structure. So actually, it is not green in color. It is transparent. In case of the plant cell, this is the green color plant cell. You can understand the plants are green in color. So this is the plant cell. You can see in the plant cell this big bubble-like structure. They are called vacuoles. What are vacuoles? Vacuoles store the waste material of the cell. These are the tiny dustbins inside our cells, in which our cell throws all the waste material in the liquid form. In case of the animal cells, these vacuoles are temporary. When they become big, they burst and all the waste molecules diffuse out of the cell membrane. But in case of the plant cells, this vacuole is permanent. Why? Because plants are constantly absorbing water from the soil. So this water is actually coming from the soil and all the time it is there, and it is very necessary to have a very big vacuole inside the plant cell. Why? So that the plant cell can remain turgid. What is the meaning of turgid? Stretched. Because we have got the skeleton, we can have a support system, we can walk, we can stand. Plants do not have a skeleton. Plants cannot stand by themselves. There must be a support system from inside. So all the cells have got such a big vacuole that it pushes the cell, it makes the cell turgid, and this is the reason that when all the cells in a plant body are turgid, the plant can stand erect. If for some reason the vacuole is disappeared, the plant will fall down. The plant will not be able to stand erect. Now we will move to the next part. Mitochondria is another thing in the cytoplasm, and they are the powerhouse of the cells. Cellular respiration is taking place. Carbon dioxide, oxygen and glucose, when they will get inside the cell, they make their way to the mitochondria. Mitochondria combine oxygen and glucose, and they form carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Carbon dioxide and water diffuse out of the mitochondria, and then from cytoplasm, they will get out of the cells. Whereas energy remains stored in the mitochondria, and this energy is the chemical energy, which is in the form of a chemical compound called ATP. So they have got the reserve of energy in them, which is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. So depending upon the type of the cell, the number of mitochondria can increase or decrease. Like in a very active cell of liver, neurons, nerve cells, there are lots of mitochondria, even in the plant cells also. Those plant cells which are very much busy in doing photosynthesis, they have got large number of mitochondria. Without mitochondria, cellular respiration cannot take place. Then endoplasmic reticulum and ribosome. So you can see along with the nucleus, this is the nucleus. Along with the nucleus, these are some stacks of membranes like this. And along with the stack of membranes, these are tiny rounded particles. And these tiny rounded particles are called ribosomes. The function of ribosomes is to manufacture proteins for the cells. Whatever the proteins we are eating, they are digested into amino acids. Amino acids release from our intestine into the blood. Blood takes these amino acids to our cells. Cells take these amino acids to the ribosomes. Ribosomes collect these amino acids, shuffle and reshuffle them, and make new proteins. These proteins can be our enzymes, these proteins can be our hormones, these proteins can be the different structures of our body. What is the function of this endoplasmic reticulum? This green color stacks of membranes, which you can see, actually they are not green in color, they are all transparent, but just to differentiate. The function of endoplasmic reticulum is whatever the proteins ribosomes have manufactured, minerals, vitamins, glucose, lipids. Lipids means a simpler form of the fats. It is going to hold them for some time. These are just like the shelves in our cells, just like we keep books in our shelves. So we keep different nutrients and lipids and proteins in these shelves for some time so that they can be used later. After endoplasmic reticulum, we have Golgi bodies. So you can see inside the cell, this is the Golgi body. They are also made up of stacks of membranes. So in this cell, you can see, just in order to differentiate, the yellow color stacks of membrane along with the nucleus are the endoplasmic reticulum, and in the cytoplasm, these green color stacks are the Golgi bodies, but none of them are green in color in animal cell. The green color substance is found only in the plant cell. So just in order to differentiate, they have put green color and yellow color. So the function of Golgi bodies is whatever the proteins are stored in the endoplasmic reticulum, lipids are stored in the endoplasmic reticulum, they will then transfer to the Golgi bodies, and Golgi bodies will do packaging thing. They will make the packets, they will arrange and rearrange, and then they will send these lipids and proteins to the particular position, place wherever they are required. So the function of endoplasmic reticulum is just like the shelves. You are keeping the books in the shelves. For example, now you have to change your room. You have to go to another room. What you will do? You will take the books out and you will arrange the books in a carton, and then you will take the books to another room. So the carton is actually the Golgi body in which you are arranging the books and taking them to a different place. Now, the stored food in our cells, whatever the food we are eating, ultimately everything will be digested into glucose. And this glucose will diffuse in our blood from the intestine. This glucose goes to our cells. The cells is going to utilize the glucose in the cellular respiration. But if the glucose is too much, it will remain stored in the cytoplasm in the form of glycogen. Tiny glucose molecules combine together and make a complex molecule which is called glycogen. Why glucose is not stored as glucose in the cytoplasm? Because they are so simple molecules that they can easily diffuse out of the cell membrane. Cell membrane cannot stop the glucose molecules. So what cell does? Cell hold all the glucose molecules and tie them with a chain. Lock them up in a chain with a chain, and it becomes glycogen molecule, and then it is locked up inside the cells. It is imprisoned inside the cells and it can be used later. Now plant cell has got everything which animal cell has: cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, ribosomes, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, everything. But there are some exceptions. What are those exceptions? The outermost boundary. Outside the cell membrane, there is an additional layer which is called cell wall. And this cell wall is made up of a substance called cellulose, and cellulose is a complex carbohydrate, polysaccharide. It is an indigestible material. So whatever the vegetables we are eating, so in those green vegetables, actually we are eating lots of cellulose cell wall. Our stomach, our digestive system cannot digest cellulose cell walls. So they are excreted out. So what is the function of the cellulose cell wall? It is fully permeable. It is not going to stop any sort of the particle. All the big and small particles can easily get in and out of the cellulose cell wall. The function of cellulose cell wall is just to protect the cells, prevent the cell from bursting, because sometimes the vacuole inside the plant cells becomes so big because the plant absorbs so much of water the entire day. The vacuole becomes too big that if the cell wall will not be there, the cell will burst. The cell will become inflated like a balloon. So outside this cell membrane, outside the cell membrane, there is a cellulose cell wall. A big permanent vacuole we have seen in case of the animal cells, the vacuoles are small and temporary, but in case of the plant cells, the vacuoles are very big bubbles full of water and mineral salts. They are permanent. They are keeping the cells turgid. And when all the cells are turgid in a plant body, the plant can stand erect and the plant grows as well. Growth is taking place in the plant. When all the cells will become stretched, inflated, the entire plant becomes bigger in size. Chloroplast. Another thing in the cytoplasm of the plant cells, which we have not seen in the animal cells, is the chloroplast. It is a membrane bound organelles. Inside the chloroplast organelle, you can see these tiny stacks of membranes, and they contain a green color pigment which is called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorbs sunlight for photosynthesis to take place. Only because plant cells have got chloroplast, photosynthesis takes place in the plant cells. We and other animals do not have chloroplast. That's why we cannot photosynthesize our food. We have to eat the food and then digest it. Plants do not have to eat the food. Why? Because they have chloroplast. They can absorb the sunlight and they can do photosynthesis. So actually where photosynthesis is taking place? Photosynthesis is taking place inside the chloroplast, not in any other part of the cell. Stored food in case of the plants is a little bit different. Like we have got glycogen, plants store the glucose as starch. Plants chain up all the glucose molecules so that they may not run outside, and that becomes a starch molecule. Now you can see some of the specialized cells. The specialized cells are those cells which have got special functions. And the cells which do not have any special functions, they are called stem cells. So you can see these are the stem cells. Stem cells in the plants are found in the tips of the shoots and the roots, but later on they can become specialized. In case of the animals, in the embryo, the stem cells are found in the skin. Stem cells are found. So later on, these stem cells can become specialized. So the specialized cells are muscle cells. You can see how these muscle cells look like. Our red blood cells, neurons, nerve cells. Then cardiac cells, the cells which are making up our heart, liver cells, intestinal cells. So all these cells have got spatial functions. So the cells with spatial functions are called specialized cells. Cells do not have any special function are called stem cells. This is all about today's class. Today's discussion was about cells. In the next class, we will move to the next topic. So that's all. Thank you.